Welcome back to the Back Issue Book Club. My name is Greg.
My name is Rich.
And I'm finally on the uptick, it seems. So,
knock on wood, knock on wood.
Yes, I'll be taking this horse pill antibiotic here at 8 o'clock. So forgive the alarm when that happens. Yes, so this is episode 40.
Wow. All right.
That's a good chunk. We coming off of the, serious gothic Batman Court of Owls.
Why so serious?
We decided to have some fun. I never read this. I don't think you.
Oh, no, I never did either.
Okay. So this is the Marvel Superheroes volume 2, number 8, I think.
The winter special. Yes.
The winter special, aka everybody knows it as the first appearance of Squirrel Girl, and boy did she make an appearance.
Yes, she did.
I didn't know what this was going in, but it was a collection of 3 or 4 stories.
Three stories, yes.
3 stories? Okay, yeah. And the cover has the characters. The first story is the X-Men with what was her name? It was a lady with a name that started with 2 C's.
Chalmers or something like that?
Yeah, I didn't recognize her name.
I don't either, honestly.
But her and Abomination of all people were like
Emil Blonsky.
Yeah, we're in cahoots. And he was like, I'd rather he just call me Abomination, please.
Oh, Emil.
Yeah, and then I guess she was sick, so she wanted to upload her consciousness into this Sentinel she had pieced together with scraps from around the world. And I guess by this time the X-Men had disposed of them.
Of that version of them, at least, yeah.
Yeah, so she ends up, I guess, having to get Rogue's powers in order to do that.
Yeah, it seemed like what she was trying to do was merge in with the Sentinel, but the Sentinels, when it booted up, its programming kicked in.
Right. So it was like almost like a Moon Knight inner head battle between the girl and the programming of the Sentinel.
I actually kind of equated it to Carol Danvers and Rogue, where the two personalities were inside.
Yeah.
But the Sentinel apparently wanted to combine Rogue's powers with Abomination's gamma to shoot something into the sun to create this massive solar storm that would just wipe out everything on the planet.
Yes.
Destroy humanity altogether.
That's right. So I didn't recognize Cyclops. I didn't recognize that.
Psylocke.
Psylocke, excuse me.
Yeah.
Is there a Cyclops?
No.
It's just Psylocke.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
I didn't recognize that costume.
Neither did I. At first, when I first saw her on the page, I thought it was Scarlet Witch.
Me too. Yeah, with the hood and
and all pink down.
Yeah.
Well, not pink, but crimson.
Right. So she gets knocked out, and Wolverine's like, there was one line that stuck out with me. Wolverine, he was like, "Cyclops, honey, are you there?" And I was just weird.
Huh? Psylocke.
Sorry, I don't know why I keep saying that. Cyclops, maybe.
Yeah.
Psylocke, and he was like, "Honey, can you hear me?" or something like that. And I was just like, "That's."
There's this one panel that I really did like, where they were all looking at this big screen TV, and they're all just standing there, and you see them from behind, and Wolverine is so much shorter than everybody else.
As is accurate, as I understand it, for the comics. So
it is, but it just, after seeing Jackman for so long, I had to be reminded, like, oh, that's right, he's short.
Daniel Radcliffe, what up? Everybody wants him.
Not everybody. Sorry, no.
I don't have an opinion, really, but anyway.
In my brain, he's typecast as Harry Potter, so it's kind of hard.
Fair. What happens? I remember the end.
Well, Storm saves Earth by conjuring up this massive storm that covers the entire Earth, to absorb the radiation, which water does block / stop water radiation from going through. I can see that to a point. But the woman gains the upper hand over the robot, saying, "This is not the legacy that I wanted. This is not what I wanted."
Yes.
And she takes the Sentinel into the star, into the sun.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, that would be a very, very slow, long time trip.
They made it look like in the panels, they were like, all right, I'm going to the moon.
Yeah, and even that would be an extremely long trip. I mean, I don't know the cruising rate of a Sentinel, but let's just say it's even 93,000 miles an hour. That still puts you at 1,000 hours away from the sun.
Wow. Yeah. I can't imagine it would be much more than like Mach 1. I don't know.
Yeah. So, I mean, even if it's 9,300 miles an hour, which is like, God, Mach 12.
Let's see here. What speed is Mach 10? Just for
7,000 ish.
7680. Yeah.
So, yeah, even at that rate, to go 93 million miles.
Yeah. That would take forever.
13,000 hours.
All right, so 13,000 hours to
divided by 24.
It would take over a year. 542 days.
Yeah, at Mach 10.
At Mach 10.
So, Jesus. But he did it in 4 panels, and the other thing is, you see the size of the sun, realizing that it is 1,000,000 times the mass of the Earth.
Yes.
But you still see this, which in comparison to the sun, minuscule atomic level Sentinel go poof, it actually makes a mark.
Yeah.
When he hit.
I guess, kind of kids stuff a little bit.
That's the kind of my point with this book. It is really written, the dialogue, and everything. It's written really for kids,
which is interesting because at this time, what was this?
91.
I feel like they had some mature adult stuff in like the regular X-Men run and stuff like that, right?
I agree, but I don't think that the mature readers were going out and buying winter specials.
Fair. Yeah, absolutely. The second story was
Submariner.
That was interesting.
That was horrible artwork, though.
Oh my God. Right. So bad. And he didn't have his ankle wings, I noticed.
They were too busy drawing the squarish jaw in a history.
And the lines as shading and
yeah, I mean, this artwork made Liefeld look good.
It was bad. But I guess he has a like oil derrick rig kind of thing that's a research facility for a company he owns called Oracle or something.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's gone. It's derelict. And then he gets there and all of his employees are like green goo.
No, they were molten metal. They said they had been because he even says, I've gone from fighting the Man of Steel. I'm like, is that a Superman joke?
Oh, I missed that. Must have been.
Yeah, but it's funny because he seems like he lands there like, my only concern is the employees. Oh, you're all people that melted. Never mind, I gotta go.
Sorry, I can't do anything for you guys right now, right here. I noticed that too.
That's cold.
Yeah. But as I understand it, that's kind of Namor. Like, he can be that way.
Now, what I didn't know is, I mean, I don't know Oracle. I didn't read Submariner books during the 90s or late 80s or anything. I'm assuming that these employees were humans.
Me too.
So, at what point did he really give a crap about humans?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, he has a vested interest in his own people and in saving the planet for the benefit of his own people. But if somebody would say, look, we're going to save the entire planet, 3/4 of the Earth is covered by water anyway, we're just going to get rid of all the humans, I really think the Submariner would be like, I bet.
Oh, please.
Cool. Just go ahead and do it.
That. Bet.
Bet.
Oh, I was talking to my wife today about that at lunch.
If I would have known that was a trickery with you, I would have used it years earlier.
Just add a U in front of it. All right, you bet. There we go.
Bet. Thank you folks very much for joining us. The show is probably now over. He just yanked his earplugs out and they're stuck. They're stuck on his microphone. He's putting them back in his ears. He's back.
That was fire, bro. Anyway, there's some gobbledygook about flying people who had an island that was above the clouds away from humanity, and kind of like the opposite coin of Atlanteans in the water. They were bird people up in the sky.
Yep.
And one day it came crashing down, and they had a nice leader that Namor was cool with, but then, you know,
he went nuts.
He went nuts, and the island crashed down into the earth. And then there was only a sole survivor, that guy's daughter, and red something.
Red Robin Yum.
And you know, she encounters him, and while he's fighting the immortal wizard, I forget his name.
I can't remember his name either, but it was funny because I love the scene where Mariner sees him and says, whatever your name is, the master of alchemy. And he's like, I hate when people introduce me like that. Like there's a master of origami version of me up.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
That was actually one of the wittiest lines that I've read in comic books. Like, why do you introduce? Of course yeah, you could just say the first name. People know who I am.
That was funny. Gosh, I'm trying to see. 3 Strikes, You're Out. The Coming of Squirrel Girl. Leftovers. Red Raven is the girl.
Okay. In my brain, I had Red Wing. I'm like, no, that's Falcon's sidekick.
Who's the bad boy?
But he looked like an off-color version of Mephisto, honestly.
Well, yeah, there was God, whatever. I'm going in circles here. Doesn't matter. Some guy I'd never heard of, a wizard, and he convinced Namor that they need to be allies on this, because even though they're normally enemies, this is why. And Red Raven shows up and is like, "Nah, dude, you trust this mother father?" And he's like, Namor was like, "Oh yeah, you're right. How could I have been so dumb?" And then they join up.
I knew your father. I will listen to you.
Yep. And then he raises all the undead bird people.
Diablo.
The
master of alchemy. I pulled it up.
You heard it here, folks. How many other times you hear this guy? But yeah, so like he reanimates all the bird people, including this girl's father, who was the leader and friends with Namor.
Yep.
And sicks her father on her. And Namor's like, "Nah, son," and puts like a pike through his chest and says, "I'm sorry." And
Diablo, he wins over Submariner onto his side, saying, "Look, I want to save all humanity." They, with their floating island, they had the technology to generate ozone. That's how they were able to do it. So what I want to do is to tap into that technology with your help, of course, sir, Mr. Namor. And I will, once I understand everything, I'll fix all these problems with the ozone layer. We'll save humanity.
Absolutely.
And then the Red Raven, whatever, or Red.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Shows up. It's like, don't you understand that once he has control over those patches, it's like a kid with a magnifying glass. Anybody that stands against him, he'll just remove the ozone and burn them out of existence.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool.
So Namor's like, "Ah, shit, that's true." And then they fight.
Yeah, it's kind of like, "Oh, you're right. I must fight you." And I was waiting for Diablo to go, "No, that's not what I want to do." "Oh, so I must fight you." But he said, So you're saying that, oh, then I have to fight you. I'm like, boy, this is the easiest guy to convince.
That's what it felt like, yeah. So, ended up beating Diablo. Well, what did they do to him? They did like something.
Blew up the whole island?
Yeah.
Well, she kind of blew up the island. The final destruction of Sky Isle. And there's really no trace of him around, so we assume that he lived to fight another day, but I don't see him. But she was just really ticked off at him, saying, well, how about you use those great resources? You're so supposedly so smart. And like, we just established that he's not. To come up with your own technology instead of picking through the bones of my people.
Yeah, I was like, damn. All right.
But isn't that what kind of what science is, though?
Yes,
is
standing on the shoulders of giants.
Yes, some people live during their lifetime. They take knowledge to this point, and then somebody else will take it from this point, go to this point, and to this point. And okay, so your people developed all this technology, so somebody else is going to take it and try to implement it and use it to something else.
Yeah,
but she didn't like that.
Oh, okay, I see it here. Oh God, this is such bad art. Namor gets Namor. Sorry,
It's okay. I almost lost my coffee.
Gets this like I said, like this metallic spear and sends it through the reanimated father, but also goes into Diablo's chest. And Diablo's like, oh, you idiot! You didn't realize how many months it'll be before I can synthesize a human heart. And Namor goes, really? I never thought of that as a requirement for you, Diablo. Sarcasm ill becomes you, Namor, until we meet again. And then he like dissolves into smoke or something.
Yeah, this is definitely written. Yeah, 80s style of dialogue and meant for a younger audience. And this is something that entertained me as a kid. But I had to really appreciate where writing a comic has come along too, though.
Yep. So, yeah, like you said, Red Raven tells him off, and that's literally the last line.
Yeah, flies away, leaving Namor to go, I'll have to think about that now too.
Yes.
And then we had the third and final story of this 80-page spectacular, which, by the way, going through this, I don't think I saw any ads. I don't think there were any ad pages in this.
Sometimes, yeah, it goes up to 79 right here. Yeah.
Yeah. So 80 pages, and they charged you for it, but it was 80 pages of comics. So just on the printing alone, they made their money. Good for you. Hey, showing it can be done, or could at least. But we've got Iron Man flying through the forest at 90 miles an hour, dense forest with blindfolds, a metal blindfold, trying to test his new collision avoidance system, which is now available on every Toyota and Lexus.
I think it was like a, you know how in the newer some cars they have like if you're towing a trailer, they have like a digital rear view mirror that just tunes into like a camera feed instead of the actual mirror. I think that's what this kind of thing was. Like he was testing to see if like this thing could navigate for him instead of his eyes.
Actually, I disagree. I really think that it was because he pulls it off and kind of like discards it. But a couple points where he's like, "Wow, my boot thrusters must have just kicked in and pushed me up. That must mean there was something there that was horizontal." He's flying blind. He's trusting the armor completely. And if that's the case, why couldn't you have done the damn shit remote? I'm going to get out of the armor, put on autopilot, and I'll check the recording to see how you did later.
Oh, well, either way, he's going 90 miles an hour in the forest, and he gets hit. And he was like, what the heck? And keeps getting hit. He takes the visor off, like he said, and immediately a great big bushy tail covers his face.
Yep. You can't look yet. It's a surprise.
Yep. And he, like, his jets fail, like you said. and they tumble, and then you get this absolutely horrifying squirrel girl face.
Absolutely.
Like,
this is not what we're used to seeing.
this is like, it makes me shudder a little bit. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa.
It's like some kind of a harlequin.
Yeah, like like Joker-esque.
Yeah.
Oof. Also, I hate Iron Man having actual physical holes for his eyes to come through ever since the movie. Like, I just feel like it should be lights or
heads
whatever.
up display.
Yeah, whatever. It just looks weird seeing his eyes. But her eyes are far weirder.
Yeah, I'm looking at every picture that I can see on the internet that is not in this issue of Squirrel Girl, and she does not have eyes like that.
No, and her mouth is like huge, and she's got giant buck teeth. Oof.
That she can chew through wood with.
Yes.
I think they toned it down a little bit, but in this issue, she's only 14 years old, so she may still have changed a little bit.
She has a 40-year-old woman's haircut.
Yeah.
But she's a mutant, which I didn't know. And she's struggling in school, so her whole goal here was to kind of prove to Iron Man that she can knock him down, so he should take her on as his ward.
Yes.
Or sidekick.
Yeah, his Robin.
Right.
Since Iron Man is, as everybody says, the Batman of the Marvel Universe, which I disagree. I think it's more like Moon Knight, but she was trying to become his Robin.
And he was like, nah, I work alone.
I work alone. I'm Batman. Yeah. I mean, I'm Iron Man. So
I'm Iron Batman. And she was like, look at me. Watch this. I can do anything a squirrel could do. I can hop, jump, climb. And like, Iron Man's is amazing. ...
Yeah. Well, a lot of it is, I've dealt with Spider-Man. He does this times 10.
I mean, there's one point where like, I didn't know she could do this. I mean, I didn't know about her in general, but she's got like a pop claw in like her knuckle.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
And she like scrapes Iron Man and Squirrel Girl, and then he goes, not exactly in Wolverine's class, are you?
Yeah.
I was like, damn, man, you're mean.
Well, again, he doesn't want to be impressed. To a point, he's kind of like House. If you ever watch House MD, where he wants to keep people at a distance.
That's true. I don't know the Tony Stark of this comics really too well, so maybe that's how he is.
But he is offering, like, I'll introduce you to the X-Men. I'm sure they've got a spot for you since you're a mutant. And she's like, oh no, they're pretentious. I don't like them, especially that Kitty Pryde. I'm like, hey.
I thought of you when I read that. What brings that up? Is that a theme?
My knowledge, I think she's great.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm sure that Larry Cimarelli is out there going, ha ha, because he and I always had this.
My queen is best.
He likes Dazzler and I like Kitty Pryde, and it's funny because their first appearances are one issue apart.
Yeah.
So.
Then there's an extreme close up of her hideous mouth with like an extra tooth in the bottom, and and then another hideous picture of her. And another hideous picture of her, and she goes check, and calls all the squirrels and jacks up Iron Man.
I thought it was kind of funny because he tries to tell Iron Man what to say, and he's like, what?
How do you get them off? Easy. You just go chatty chat. And he goes, of course.
Chitty check. And when I saw this, did you ever see The Emperor's New Groove?
Yeah, but I don't remember much of it.
Oh man, Gronk.
Yeah, Grunk.
Yeah, well, he spoke squirrel. Or chipmunk, or whichever it was.
Oh, okay.
Squeak, squeakum, squeak, squeak, squeakum, squeak, squeak. Okay, what they said was, I'm like, in my head, I got like Tony Stark doing this, and Gronk's voice is in my head doing it.
Nice. It's a great voice. But here we are. No, this guy's armor was gray, and it was clothes.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Warburton.
Patrick Warburton, yeah.
I remember the name. I'm sorry. I had
that's great.
A notify the presses. I didn't remember. I thought it was Tom, but I'll take the last name and be happy.
another connection to comics, he played the live action Tick.
Oh yeah,
short series.
Oh yeah, I remember I bought the Tick when it first came out. I loved that book, and he was perfect for it.
Oh yeah. Excuse me. Yes, Patrick Warburton. Great voice, Peter. Joe from Family Guy.
Absolutely.
So she's like, yeah, I saw this guy in the woods. I don't know, gray armor, green cloak.
Yeah.
And he's like, and Tony's like, gray armor, green clothes? Not precisely, Avenger. Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
Hold still, please.
Well, he's like running through different, I saw somebody in armor and he's like, is it so-and-so? No. Well, what? And he finally gets, wait, where was it?
Not Titanium Man. He wears green armor, or did Crimson Dynamo?
Crimson Dynamo? Yeah, no, I don't think so. He was green. So not Titanium Man. He wears green armor, or did. No, this wasn't, guys. No, this guy's armor was gray. It was his clothes that were green. Gray armor, green clothes? Not, yeah. And then, of course, Victor Von Doom pops up out of the woods.
Yep. And, he stuns Tony and grabs a squirrel girl, and just they're jawing back and forth. He's got a flying saucer.
Yeah, which uses like 0 energy because it's perfectly balanced, which I'm like, okay, that doesn't help. You still need a certain amount of energy to move a specific amount of mass, regardless of how well balanced it is.
The Doom ship ghosts through the treetops like an aluminum wraith.
Which is, the Doom ship is still better than the Thanos copter. So let's give it that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Soon. Oh, my head. Where am I? And Tony's bound with some kind of what does it say? Some kind of manacle surrounded by an energy field. I don't know what a
manacle is. Like a handcuff or something that restrains you.
So yeah, surrounded by an energy field, and he like tries to like use power, and the power like sucks makes the manacle stronger, and
I think it's also at the same time sapping the power out of his suit.
Yep. And he's saying this, and Squirrel Girl's like, I got some nuts in my stash. Here's some macadamias. They're great for extra pep. And I was like, oh man.
Yeah, somehow I don't think they'll repower my armor. She's like, I also have peanuts, cashews, almonds, and acorns, but those I feed to my critters. Like, I'm glad you're not eating the acorns. Those taste nasty. And yes, I know. So,
so eventually, we get the classic spikes come out of the wall. Oh, spikes come out of one side of the wall, and the other side has cavities for the spikes to go into.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, they're going to crush me. He's going to crush me slowly until we figure out something we can do.
Right.
And
not only
blunt tips.
Yes, exactly. That made me think of Robin Hood. The Prince of Thieves. I'm going to cut your hearts out with a spoon. Why a spoon, cousin? Why not an axe? Because it's dull, you twit. It'll hurt more.
There you go. So Tony eventually is like, it's up to you. I can't move. I'm done. And she's like, what can I do?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because earlier on he's saying like, oh, so you're like a bargain basement 14-year-old kid who thinks she's a squirrel. Now he's saying, you know what? I can't do anything. Save the world. Go fight Dr. Doom. It's all up to you. What?
Yep. And she's like, okay. There's got to be a secret here. It's like Nancy Drew. And she finds this like cylinder on the ground and pops the lid off, and that's an exit. There's a hole in the ship right there.
Yes, of course. What? Isn't there a hole on every ship?
That's just covered with like a Campbell's soup can lid.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, it's spring loaded, to keep it shut. This way, when you go out into space, it doesn't like
keeps the seal.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Go underwater.
So she goes, calls her squirrels through the hole.
Yes, and earlier on, Von Doom had spoken about how fast his ship is. That can go from here to the West Coast and like Sentinel to the sun speed.
This is my complaint. Yeah.
But for some reason, the sound of her chit, 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 chit. So this thing is not traveling at the speed of sound because her sound can get ahead of the vehicle. All the squirrels go, "What? Hey, let's all get to the top of the tree and wait for the ship to show up and then jump onto it."
Up into it somehow. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, for anybody that drives, what is usually the outcome of a large vehicle traveling more than 60 miles an hour hitting a squirrel?
It's 50-50, really. No,
Well, I mean, I don't know because I don't have that hole on the bottom of my car.
That's true. I'm missing one of those as well.
Yeah, but overall, I'm going to say Von Doom is going to need some windshield wipers. As Rocket said, get it off, man, get it off, wipers.
Yeah, but nonetheless, Doom is like, "What's all this on the radar popping up?" And the squirrels, they get up and in the hole,
as rodents do, man, as rodents do.
And the lights go out, and Tony's like, "Oh, what's going on?" And his manacles are dimming in power, and she's like, "Hey, they're chewing through the wiring." That part's accurate. My parents' car was like unable to turn on because squirrels chewed the wiring underneath. So he breaks out, and like this kind of reminded me of Ant-Man. Iron Man was like running and he had like a swarm of squirrels with him.
Yeah.
And then they sick him on Doom.
Yes, and his armor, which can handle so many things, can't handle squirrels.
No, yeah, he's getting like they're pulling little panels off. They're just destroying his cloak. The armor's like turning brownish somehow.
Squirrel poop?
Maybe. And eventually he pulls a lever and like, trap doors out the bottom. And
well, I mean, remember though that Ant-Man was able to get into Iron Man's armor twice.
Oh, yeah.
So, maybe small annoying things are not what they developed this armor for.
Yeah, true. He runs into a river or lake and dives in, and Iron Man's like, "I'm gonna go check on him, make sure he's caught." And he like burrows into the mud
after taking his mask off.
Did he?
Yeah, because what do you call it?
Oh, there's Doom's mask, and there he goes burrowing into the mud like a clam.
Yeah.
So Tony sees the mask. What the hell?
Yeah. So he sees the mask, and Doom is without the mask, burrowing into the mud like a clam.
And he reaches and grabs his foot, and he says, "No good. His armor's too slippery. Some kind of silicone coating." I was like, "Oh my god!"
Hey, the squirrels can stick to it. Why can't you?
Yeah, mud, nothing but mud. And the squirrel comes out of the water.
Sand. It gets everywhere.
Yeah, squirrel comes out of the water with his mask in his mouth, and
which, if you think about the weight of metal in water, that would be like an anchor dragging the squirrel down.
And we get more goofy squirrel faces. Tony kind of warming up a little bit to her, she being a little apologetic, like, "Oh, I can't believe me doing this caused all this." And he's like, "Look me up, after college. After you finish school, call me and we'll talk, and I'll introduce you to the Avengers."
So I'm gonna be your partner? I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I'll hook you up with somebody who might want to listen, but
I like you, honest. No hard feelings? Well, okay. It's hard to say mad at a guy in gleaming armor.
Yeah. Good luck, squirrel girl.
Yep.
And she replies, "I don't need luck. I eat nuts." And then you got the Tony Stark with a thought bubble. "I don't need luck. I eat nuts."
They're not going to believe this at the next Avengers meeting.
Which, again, that would have reminded me of Falcon getting his ass kicked by Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Don't ever tell anybody about this. And then after that, I mean, that's the end of the story, but you got a few pages of like full page art.
I like that first one.
Hulk taking on
Sasquatch, Beast.
Yeah, there's the Sasquatch that's from Alpha Flight. I just couldn't think of his name. Is it just Sasquatch?
Yeah.
Thing, and they got a man thing in the background.
And Beast, yeah.
And somebody's broken head on the floor.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Next one shows Doctor Strange, and looks like on the Rainbow Bridge.
Oh, yeah. Doing some cosmic shit.
Yep. Then you've got Wolverine with the full-size claws going against ninjas with Spider-Man.
Yep. That's just like, it's fan service right there.
And then another Hulk.
I don't like that style of like head hair.
Yeah, no, that honestly, that looks like I could put a golf ball right in the middle of it and give it a whack.
Yeah, it does. It looks like fairway.
Yeah, it does. But out of the 4 pages, 2 of them are Hulk panels. Which is kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
So, and that was it. Now, our rating of the book.
Oh god. I'm gonna give it a 5. Not good, not good, not bad. Just C level.
Okay, now I'm gonna give it a rating, and let me explain. I'm giving it an 8.
Okay.
For those of you on the podcast that can't see, I just got a face slap like from Police Academy from Greg when I said that.
Hat remove, rub the top of my head. Whoa.
Explain. Yeah, right. Big question mark popping over his head right now. This book, even though it was written in 91, reminded me so much of the 80s styles, and I didn't feel there were no ads, so I just got into a nice little rhythm of it. And it's kind of like watching some hokey. You ever watch Starship Troopers?
I have not, actually.
Okay. You ever watch a movie that was about a specific genre, but it pokes a level of intelligent fun at it?
Sure. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like a good, yeah.
This whole book made me very nostalgic for the books that I read when I was a kid. But it didn't bore me or make me roll my eyes like the Wolverine series did when I reread that. This one was kind of fun. It was kind of tongue in cheek. It kind of reminded me of all the silly lines that I read as a kid that if I read them now would be stupid, but this one just kind of, like having that ice cream flavor that you haven't had since you were a kid.
All right. I can get behind that.
You're like, oh my God, I haven't had Rocky Road since I was 9. Oh my God, this is fantastic. No, you want to know what this is? This is Chef Boyardee ravioli.
All right.
Or SpaghettiOs. Yeah. Chef Boyardee SpaghettiOs. That's what this is. You got to have it like, oh my God, I forgot how bad this is. I got to have more.
Yeah, yeah.
It makes you feel like you're like, I'm a little kid again reading
comfort
comics.
Food.
Yes, this is a comfort comic book. Will I reread it again? No. Do I want to read a whole bunch of books like this? No. But when one comes out of the blue and hits me like this one did, and I just kind of laugh, like when I said 8 and you did the facepalm, I facepalmed reading this book, going, oh my God, how did I find this so entertaining? This is so corny. I love it.
Yep.
So yeah, this is the Spaceballs of comic books to me. So
oh, all right. Yeah. Cool.
I mean, we all know Squirrel Girl. Imagine also reading that for the first time, looking at that character, going, what the hell?
I'm not keeping this shit.
Eyes?
Here, trade it.
Now, the kids at school make fun of me. You think? I got a hard time hiding my tail in my jeans. Maybe you might want to go with a big dress or something. I don't know what the hell, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got a kick out of this, especially the Squirrel Girl story. It was just funny enough, and to have her with Iron Man, who's so damn serious,
Yeah.
And so much of a loner. Yeah, I thought it was great. I really did.
Well, there you go. All right, so we've got that in the books now.
Yep,
we've got those books in the books. This coming, we're going to break this next one up into 2 because there's 12 issues.
Mm-hmm.
All-Star Superman by Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely, I think.
The one that has hit the hot list recently because James Gunn has made reference to it even though they're not filming anything because there's still a SAG-AFTRA strike. But and I'm not complaining about there being a strike. Guys get paid. I get that. But just
the writers are
the writers are being taken care of, and the actors who pretty much went on strike in solidarity, which I have a lot of respect for. They're sticking to their guns to make sure that they're taken care of as well, because otherwise it looks like if they just cave now, it makes them look weak, and I don't deny that. And everybody's like, oh, actors make 10, 15, 20 million dollars for a film. Yeah, the top 0.001% of them do. The next time you watch a movie and you see the full list of all the actors, wonder about all these people that were there for weeks on end. They got paid $190 a week or something,
Yep. And they're, what do you call it, independent contractors pretty much, I think, for the most part. So like they have to take care of their health care and taxes and all this stuff that aren't taken out by their employer, and they have to like earn the next gig by, what do you call it, auditioning. So it's like,
yeah, imagine if every time you got a paycheck you had to report to work on Monday and interview for the job again.
Yeah, I mean, sheesh, rough stuff. But anyway, Super All-Star Superman, I guess we'll read 1 through 6, and then the next one we'll do 7 through 12.
Sounds good. But that's not the only thing we're reading next week, though, is it?
No, we have the 3rd issue of Enfield Gang Massacre came out this past week. So we'll be reading that one, and we'll be up to date on that one. And then whenever the next Kill Your Darlings. Yes.
Yeah.
Kill Your Darlings comes out.
I'm really looking forward to that, man.
Me too.
I like the Enfield Gang Massacre, but it's the Kill Your Darlings, that one that really struck a nerve with me,
Yeah. But yeah. Sound good?
That's all good.
Cool. Well, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Ring the bell for notifications. We appreciate that. Don't forget to rate and review if you're listening to this in traditional podcast mediums, which should be available at all of those places. Don't forget to check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/Team Ohana, where you'll get this podcast and every podcast on usually Monday morning instead of Thursday, which is the release for most people. You'll get to suggest podcast episode ideas. A lot of these ideas that we've been doing lately have been from our patrons. You will get access to our monthly meetup where you can pull books from my pull box here, and I will ship them to you for free. You get extra picks on our Remember Me videos whenever we do those. We just finished Ahsoka's watch along. We're doing Loki's watch along now. Had a real fun time with that first episode. It was enjoyable. And
so many Easter eggs in that.
Oh yeah. And then finally, you get to pick an extra book on New Comic Book Day if you end up being a winner for that. So instead of getting 2, you will get 3.
And we give those books away every week.
Yes. And we've had a lot of patrons win. So
yes,
it's a good chance you would if you join up. I think I got all of Patreon.
I believe you did. Yes.
Don't forget to check out our links down below for our merch. If you want to have like this with a different color or this color, whatever, we got shirts, all kinds of stuff. And then I think that's it.
Now, this Saturday, if you happen to be in North Georgia, come see me at the Cartersville Comic Con. Cartersville, which is about 25-30 minutes north of Atlanta, right up 75. If you are wearing one of the pieces of merch, a hat or t-shirt from our store, I'm going to be having $25 mystery grab slabs. I'll give you one for free, just to say thank you for showing the support of the channel.
There you go. Super cool.
Yes.
All right. Well, until we see you all in the next one, mahalo.
Bet.
Editing that out.
No!